Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So dear friends, keep relax your body and be comfortable with your posture. Let your whole body weight go down. Mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing. So in the beginning, we relax our body step by step. So when you inhale, remember inhale through your nose and slowly, deeply, gently, each and every inhalation and exhalation. Exhale through your mouth. Same way, slowly, gently, and deeply. And in between inhalation, exhalation, keep a little gap. So bring your attention to your right arm and slowly, deeply, gently breathing and visualize yourself that all the breath go to your right arm. Hold for a moment and breathe out. Left arm, slowly, deeply, gently breathing. Hold it and breathe out. Back and spine, slowly, deeply, gently breathing. And breathe out. Your abdominal area, breathing. Breathe out. Your chest, breathing. Breathe out. And your right leg, slowly, deeply, gently breathing to right leg. And breathe out. And left leg, slowly, deeply, gently breathing. And breathe out. Your neck and head. And slowly, deeply, gently breathing. And hold for a moment. And breathe out. Okay, now breathing to your whole body. Slowly, deeply, gently breathing. And breathe out. Again, slowly, deeply, gently breathing. Breathe out. Again, slowly, deeply, gently breathing. Breathe out. Now take a deep breath and hold it under your lower abdominal area, 2 inches below your navel point, and keep it as long as you can. Okay, deeply, gently breathing and hold it. And breathe out. Breathe out. Let the whole body weight go down and focus your mind to your whole body. Scan head to toes yourself. Say Supateva, oh, may I be well and happy. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. We also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment that this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing your inhalation and exhalation. So bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. In the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out a few times and get the sensation. And once you get a mental note and follow the sensation and stay sharp and clear and recognize this is inhalation as this is exhalation separately. Do nothing extra. Allow everything to settle down as it is. Just get into the sensation. Develop unmovable posture and intentional desirable attention. Recognize this is rising, this is falling. Bring little bit more attention And with the effort, observe the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. This is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end. Knowingly observe. Some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Just observe the nature of the inhalation, exhalation, and accept it in the very first level. Don't try to make any change. Completely accept the way as it is. Don't carry any kind of mental version. Be sharp and clear to be with the inhalation, exhalation. Do nothing extra. Calming down your body, breathing, inhalation, exhalation happening, calming down your mind. Calming down breathing itself, your inhalation, exhalation happens. Just allow it to settle down. If any kind of thought arises in you, don't react. Just let it be. Stay with the inhalation, exhalation. Even though in the beginning you recognize as this inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation. Observe deeply and recognize it is just the sensation arise in that very moment. There is nothing coming in or going out separately. It is just the sensation. Try to come out of the name of the inhalation or exhalation and just be with the sensation. The very nature of that sensation always arising, existing and disappearing. Recognize it. Just look yourself, that sensation in the body or in the mind. When you analyze the depth of the sensation, just see it arise in the body or arise in mind. Don't personalize any experience, any sensation. Observe it separating from self. Don't hold it this to you and see. That observer also itself change. The sensation itself change. In between these two, there is nothing. Once the mind recognizes that, mind itself become free from the mind. And there is no desire to become, no collective nature. Once you come out of that, there is nothing to let go. You become free from your own mind. Just a moment of recognition exists. Other everything reflect around it. You are already complete. There is nothing to become. Once you drop the becoming nature, there is nothing to resist. When there is no resistance, no anger, hatred, jealousy, envy, that is where you get connecting with the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, with the perception to direct contact or the understanding without thoughts. That is where you become free from sansara. Bring attention to your body. Experience this moment. This is your life, not your past or not your future. So experience it, appreciate it. You are so lucky to have this moment. You are so blessed. Don't look anything else. Develop the satisfaction, contentment. Just know you are complete. When you wake up in the morning, you have strength to come out of the bed, stand on your feet. You have strength to walk to bathroom, your restroom and clean yourself. You have strength to enjoy a cup of tea, coffee or meal yourself. You have people around you to share your life. There are people around you to share their life with you. That's blessing. You have a place to sit. You have a moment to experience like this. You have a roof above you. Appreciate it. You have your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. That is the greatest blessing. Don't look anything beyond it. Just know you complete. That's the blessing. It is a miracle. It is very rare. There are a lot of people losing that moment, ending that connection while you are sitting here and experiencing this life. It takes only 1 second to disappear this everything. Disconnect from this everything. But you are so lucky. You are still experiencing this inhalation, exhalation. There are a lot of people in this very moment fighting with death, struggling with life, have fear, anxiety, depression, go through helplessness, hopelessness, loneliness. As paying your gratitude to your life, share this moment with them. May they come out of that fear, anxiety, depression, helplessness, hopelessness, loneliness. May they have the strength, courage, and understanding to go through the situation and find the harmony, balance, tranquility state within themselves. Not only them, share this moment with your loved ones, your dear near ones, beloved parents, husband, wives, children, friends, and family members, brothers, sisters, your neighbors, village people, city, state, country, world, all living beings in this universe. And as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, the stars, let your heart to shine with them. Loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. So mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy, May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. So visualize yourself and send it as a light forward to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy. Without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So dear Dhamma friends, when it comes to our day-to-day practice, we're trying to analyze mainly our mind, because once you recognize the very nature of the behavior of the mind, you're able to maintain your bodily, verbally, or mentally actions. Once you able to maintain that bodily, verbally, or mentally actions with yourself and your communication with others, and then other people's, with the connection with the other people going to become clear. That clarity itself bring you kind of peace and satisfaction. So it is a systematic development. You have to be very clear with this. And when we observe and recognize the mind, so there are two things. The mind, you cannot just separate the mind itself, because when it comes to mental formations, that there is a formation that the mind develop as a pattern. So the mind and the matter, so this both come together, it's mixing. But the very nature of ourselves as ordinary people, we just trying to locate our understanding to something. So that is where you have to be very careful, and you look for something. You're trying to settle down with something, but that there is no such a thing called something, or that solid consciousness or solid experience. But our very nature, even within ourselves, even within thoughts, or with the mind or the matter, these outside things, the life itself come as the mixing of these two. So it's like the clay and the pot. It's like the bulb and the light. The chair and the legs. It's come as a connection. This is what we have to understand when it comes to life. Because we like to separate and to find, oh, this is what it is. Because in day-to-day life, we always look for that, and it is very comfortable for us. But here, you have to go beyond that limit and see how you can recognize something in between this, how the happening pattern. So because this happening pattern, this method, it's very difficult to find. Why? Because we cover it, everything always. That's why when the covering part, even for a table, we put a cover. And then you don't experience the original table. But when the carpenter make a table, he never make a tabletop thinking whoever going to buy this going to put a table cover. Who put the cover? All the carpenters make a table to keep it visible. But we are the one who put cover on it. Once you put a cover, you get disconnect from the reality. Everything the same. Look, these machines and everything, that whatever we have, the cell phone, the finishing part, the covering part, and take us to illusion and to believe this is something. But once you take out the cover, then you start to see the mechanism of it. Even the computer or the TV or anything, this all the gadgetics, that whatever around us, even the car or the vehicle, whatever, the body. So it trying to cover us from the original behavior. So the same thing happening in the mind also. There is a connection with the mind and matter, but we don't see that connection. We like to separate that things and to get as entity, get as something. But that's why your world itself, your body, one time Buddha mentioned. And that's why your mind is itself the world. So then when we observe the thought, if you look for something, rather than recognizing the behavior of it, if you try to look for something, you will never find. Even like just look about this material world. And they go to the atom, and for once a while people used to believe the last thing in this all the material world is the atom. Then what happened? They start to observe, later they recognize, oh, this atom also we can separate. And then when they went to the subatomic particles, and then they start to recognize, no, we can go more deeper. Why? Because the mind has nature to look for something. But there is no such a thing called something. That's what we have to understand. But our mind is always crazy to look for something. But it is a cause and effect. It's a action and reaction result. There is no such a thing result come as the pop-up itself. So this is what we have to understand. When a situation comes, and sometimes we question, why you did this? Why you say this? You are the one who did this. So we're trying to get the situation or the incident as entity, as one. We cannot get it. Because we don't see the beyond that, how it happened, the manifestation of the situation, we don't see. So this everything the same. Oh, it happened like this way. It didn't happen like that. Before it happened, there was a huge, the current went through, but we didn't see. But the final result we address, oh, it happened like this. So then the mind start to get tangled with the moment. So this always happening in day-to-day life. So then ourselves, when we practice meditation, so always remember that even though in day-to-day life we experience this separately, mind and matter, that the internal and this outside, this everything is the same. There is a deeper connection, and the behavior of it also the same. It always changing. There is nothing going to be separate and have a different behavior than your mind. There is nothing separate or different behavior than this world. So in between these two have the same behavior. So then your challenge should be, your wisdom should be to recognize the harmony in between this and the pattern and the how this connection happening. Once the day you recognize that, there's no struggle. Then naturally that understanding will help you to surrender to it. But otherwise, what is suffering means? You don't recognize this nature. You don't recognize the connection between the mind and the world in one way. And then what is happening? You always try to interfere with the nature. So then you go against its own nature. It's like you go against you. You resist to yourself. That itself the suffering. You cannot go against you. You cannot fight against you. even when it comes to larger scale, that your husband, wife, children, friends and family members, our relatives, and even our devotees, even with our own monks or the Sangha community of the Sangha, you can spread that. Take the one thought of the behavior and then take the two thought of behavior. Two thought of behavior, you resist each other and then you create the current in between this, that is suffering. And then expand it to little bit more. Your inner behavior, outer behavior. So inner mind, outside world, mind and matter, you go against it. And then it create a current in between that. That is that current itself, the suffering, unbalance. And then expand that little bit more. You create a unbalance and go against yourself or your thoughts or with the someone else thought. The same thing. And then you go against another person, little bit, little by little. And when you go against something or somebody, this is not something that beyond you, it is you go against the you, same thing. But understanding this connection, understanding that it is the same you, it is the same, that the reflection of you, it need kind of like discipline and to practice little bit deeper to recognize that connection. So get into that. There, it's not, you cannot overnight, you cannot jump into it, or just you cannot pushing a button, you cannot go into other side. You know, like these space travelers, sometimes you have seen in the movies, you go and you push the button and suddenly from this side to other side, then you go. Like matrix, like you put the dial, you dial certain numbers, then suddenly you change your format. No, it cannot do like that. It can, because in the beginning you have to go step by step. There is a way that once you attain to the enlightenment, maybe you can do it, but in the beginning, the process, how you can develop that process. In the very first level, remember, get into the discipline, self-discipline with your own physical, mental action. That is the first step. In any situation, start your, if you're looking to start your spiritual journey in the samsara, in this very lifetime, if you're looking for any success with your spirituality, the very first building block you have to put with the physical, mental discipline yourself. And you no need to put a higher goal in the beginning with that discipline, and start with the little things, and recognize what you have to do during the day, and start to recognize what you have to do during during 1 hour, and then 1 minute, get into 1 minute and prioritize yourself. And so that way, that you recognize it is not a big task. You don't think, oh, that to jump the bigger scale of the action from this level to other side. So in this very moment, what you have to do, just do it. That is the highest becoming matured. In this very moment, if there is something that very, very important you have to do, rather than postponing it, pushing it to another time, just do it. And then in the next moment, next minute, what you have to do, just do it. In that 5 minutes, and what you have to do in the very first thing, if you have to do cleaning, just clean it. If you have to make a phone call, just do it. And if you have to talk to somebody, just do it. So like that, learn to prioritize, and that moment by moment recognize during the day, and break down to few steps. And then you will see end of the day, you have done everything complete. Then you don't push for next day. then when the day become complete, that completion bring the satisfaction. In that satisfaction, you are not depending from tomorrow. See how you become independent and how your mind become free. But if you have to clean something, you push it to tomorrow. And then you have to call somebody, you push it to tomorrow. You want to do something important, you push it to tomorrow. You are already here, but you already create something in the future. That itself samsara. In case if you die suddenly now, as a Bhuta, you have to appear tomorrow to complete that. Because you in your mind, you have it, I want to do this. You develop the desire to do it. To do it means you already have in your mind to become tomorrow. And maybe you have to clean something, and you have it always in your mind, and with that mind, if you disappear, you cannot do, you cannot clean it, but your mind is not complete while you're living. If you die with the incomplete mind, so what will happen? You come with incomplete life. So that's why be complete with the moment. Don't postpone. And once you finish for the day, in that day you complete. In that time, then when this day, today become yesterday, that means when you go to tomorrow, today become yesterday. And then tomorrow, you no need to worry about today, because you complete it for the day and you know exactly what you have done. And that is where you become free from your yesterday. And there's nothing to worry. See, then tomorrow you perform the exactly same method. And how about if you continue for 1 month? You're not depending from next month, and you are not going to worry about your past month. So like that, the beginning is the discipline. Remember that. With the bodily, verbally, or mentally action. When that discipline happen, little by little, you prioritize things, and then you recognizing which one is important for you. So it come next. Without being disciplined in the first level, you cannot recognize. Even you recognize what you have to do, it's not going to happen. It just become an idea. So that once you develop that, have the discipline that way, and the next level, you start to see when something come to in front of you, you recognize, oh, this is important than that. So then there's no worry inside you. So how did the clarity arise in you? So remember, the mind is not separate from this outside world. The way we maintain our physical, mental is our spirituality. So get into pattern. And then there is a moment come. How you spiritually become independent. When the day come for you, when one thought arises in you, if you able to recognize it as a good thought and maintain that thought, that is the day spiritually you become independent. In the sansaric journey, wherever you go, your life going to become. Anymore, you no need the Buddha, or you no need the Dhamma, or you no need the Sangha. When the day come for you to, when one thought arise related with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, anywhere, with your eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, or with the mind consciousness, when a thought arise, if you are able to analyze that thought yourself, it related with the greed, hatred, or the delusion, or if it is related with the generosity, loving kindness, compassion, and wisdom. Once you able to recognize yourself, your own thought, behavior of the thought, anymore you don't need anybody. You yourself start the journey. But get into that. We need this everything. This all the eightfold path and this everything help us to get into that clarity. But the thing is this. Oh, sometimes people say, oh, I have it. I know that. Mostly when you have a good thought, you know, oh, this is good. You can analyze it. Oh, I have a good thought. You can appreciate it. But the very danger is when we have a bad thought, we don't analyze it. We just forget it. Oh, it is just a thought. So see, when you do good action, little good action, very, very minor good action, you appreciate it to highest. And you think, oh, it's a big thing, it's going to happen, bring the good result, huge result. But our mistake is when we have a very minor thought related with the greed, hatred, or the delusion, that also has the same kind of power. That whatever the thought, that minor thought had in you has power to bring a huge feedback with the suffering. So that is why you have to recognize these both thoughts in the same manner, in the same way. It is not something better or something minor, no. The both thoughts has the same power. There is nothing, or the good thought is like this and the bad thought going to disappear itself, no. So then remember, whatever come to your mind, recognize that if this thought is related with the greed, hatred, or the delusion, or this thought related with the generosity, loving kindness, compassion, and wisdom. So like that, once you recognize the both, remember it is not only one side. So what we does, we have only one side. We just recognize only the good when it happened to us. We don't care, we don't recognize when the very minor bad thoughts come. So you have to develop this both. When the day comes for you to recognize this both, you become like a bird to fly yourself. So getting to that level, giving that priority and training you and getting to the moment to your own understanding is the Buddha's main purpose. Even in this all the Sangha, or even all this teaching, that is the main purpose. There's nothing else. So try yourself. This is a very good moment for you in your life. Try to little by little. It naturally happening in a certain level. So once you keep practice, without any effort, when it arises, when the thought arises, you're going to see. That is the moment you live with the Buddha. You have seen this all the Sangha community during the Buddha's time. And the Buddha sent them to, after teaching them, Buddha sent them to jungle or the forest, to different places. Not otherwise, not everyone stay 24/7 with the Buddha. No. This is what the Buddha gave. This is what the teaching, the guidance that the Buddha gave to all the community. So it doesn't matter Buddha here or not. This is the teaching that you get. So it doesn't matter Buddha in front of you or not. If you cannot get this skill, and even the Buddha cannot help. So then yourself and try little by little. There is a moment come naturally when the thought arises, you recognizing this is related with the greed, hatred, or the delusion, and this is related with the loving kindness, generosity, compassion, or the wisdom. So that way you start to have a safe journey, and that is where you spiritually become independent, and you spiritually you start your journey. So there was a king, and there was a king, and he had the child. So the king thought to send this child to train to become the next king for the kingdom. So during that time, the children, they go to the teacher and live with the teacher. And once they complete their study, they come back to home. It's not like a schooling Nowadays, the morning you go school and come back afternoon or evening. No, you live with the teacher and you learn everything. It is not one subject. You learn everything to become a real man or real woman. So that is the concept of schooling. It is not learning a subject and finishing a kind of like certain books, or finishing kind of like a certain area of subject, just follow the syllabus. No. In the ancient time, the method of schooling mean developing and understanding to become complete person. So this king sent this child to the school, and it called Taksala. And the main title is called Disapamak, and it's kind of like a principal. All the teachers used to mention in the history Disapamak. So once you hear the Disapamak, you know it's the once you know the Taksila means the school, Disapamak means the principal. So this child, and there are many other children come and stay. Mostly at one time, few students live together. So this every day, this Disapamak, the principal or the teacher, with this student go to have bath in a river next close by that school. So on the way, they had to go through a village, and the very farming village, and mostly very poor people used to live there. So there was a house. In that house, very old mother, and she doing her farming, and then live very simple way. And one day she was drying this sesame seed, and so all the children as a line, they go to with the teacher, they go to the river. So the senior student go in the front and the teacher go behind, and observing and that seeing that's all the children. So one day, this king's son, what he did, and he slowly put his hand, or while he was walking, he stolen certain that the amount of the sesame seed from that poor mother. So the teacher was coming behind, and he saw that. And that day, he punished in front of this all other students. He punished and beating to hand. And if you're still in Asian countries, you're going to get beaten. So not like in Western. So we also used to get beaten in Sri Lanka. No, that's why we became like this. Otherwise, sometimes we are like wild animals. So anyway, so now the world is different. So somehow that day, this boy was so angry with the teacher, and he determined himself, one day I'm going to get the revenge for this, because you beaten me, it's hurt, and one day I will catch you back. So then after that, the time passed, that everyone became good students, and then they finished their education, graduated, and then they went back to their countries. And this young boy now, he's the next king. So then the very sooner he went back, the father initiated the kingship to him, and he became the king. Now he became the king. The very first duty, what he did, he called to all the army and told, go and bring that teacher. I want to punish him because one day he punished me. I just took a little bit sesame seed. There's nothing wrong with it. It is just the lump of sesame seed. And but he beaten me. I want to get the revenge. And he forget that I am the son of the king. And he forget I going to become the next king in front of others, and he beaten me. And I still remember that. So I want to get the revenge. So the army went and took the teacher to in front of him. Now, as revenge, he going to punish the teacher in front of all the country people and in front of all the assembly, and he going to kill this teacher and beating. And then the teacher told, it's okay, I can accept it, but just give me a few seconds to explain something. So normally when person going to die, as a last wish, they give few times for anyone, even still do that. So the king told, yeah, you can take the time and explain whatever you have to do. And the king told, today you are a king because that day you got punished and you got beaten and you remembered that. But if that day when I saw you stealing the lump of sesame seed, if I forget it, maybe you are today not a king. You are become a thief. But I am happy giving my education and giving my wisdom to you. Today you became a king. So I have done my duty. If I became a thief, I am so sorry to see that as my student. But getting punishment from my own student is a kind of like the blessings to a teacher, rather than you go to outside the world. If the whole world criticize you, that is very painful. Seeing that is a very painful for a teacher. So the parents also the same. Even if the parents get punishment from their own children, and sometimes a lot of parents take it as a blessing. But when the children go outside to the world, and if the children start to do bad things, and if the world start to blame to children, that is more hurt for parents and getting the punishment rather than getting punishment from their own children. So see this, the teacher point out the very one thought, how it can change the entire life of the person. So that is the power of that you have to develop in your life. And sometimes when we do something good, we appreciate others. When the children do something nice things, good things, we appreciate them. Ourselves, we appreciate, we remind it, we write down in books. And in Sri Lanka, it's like that, a good memory books or the pin photos, I like that. We write down all the good things. That is okay, good. But the very tiny little bad things have done ourselves, or it came to our mind, if you don't think about it. And sometimes it go deeper in your mind and stay there, resonate there, and little by little, like weeds, and start to come up. So then develop the mind to see it's not something good or bad. The both good or bad, whatever the thought has the same power, and analyze, recognize it yourself when it arises within your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. So when the day comes for you to tackle that, when it arises, in that very moment, remember, you are ready to fly. And that journey will take you to the end of this samsaric journey. So with that, I bless upon everyone by this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. And by the power of this good practice, may all of you stay safe and healthy. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And end of the story. So I forget to remind. And here the king understood the wisdom of the teacher, and he then apologized in front of all the people, and he offered the king advisor post to the teacher. And then from that day, the teacher became the advisor for the kingdom. So with that, bless upon everyone. Bless you.